Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News for Friday, November 28. Special welcome to our viewers on YouTube, TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
Taxi operators in Clarendon call for resumption of rehabilitation work on Ali Bridge. Agriculture sector set to get a major boost. And later in sport, Jamaica Scorpions lose by 1 wicket to Windward Island Volcanoes in Regional Silver 50 Cup.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Kerry-Ann Simpson. Here are the details. We begin this afternoon with some major developing story. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that he will permanently pause migration from all third world countries in a long message posted to social media late Thursday night. He also said he will remove anyone who, quote, not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, end quote. Now, it's not clear which third world countries Trump is referring to. The president post comes after he announced the death of Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom, one of 2 National Guard members shot near the White House Wednesday. The second, Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf, remains hospitalized in critical condition. Now, we'll have more on this developing story in Primetime News at 7. Back home in Jamaica, fear is growing among taxi operators in Clarendon about the state of the Ali Bridge in the parish. The operators are calling on the authorities to urgently resume rehabilitation work. Details in this report.
The Ali Bridge in Clarendon has been deteriorating over the years, and since the passage of Hurricane Melissa, it has worsened. President of Ver Taxi Association, Frederick Bryan, is appealing to the authorities to resume rehabilitation work.
The bridge, in essence, has a fault. There's a hole, the southern eastern foot of the bridge, that allows water to go beneath the foot of the bridge and dislodge all the filling, stones, rocks, aggregate, even the concrete slabs that we drive on. They are lifted with the pound force, pressure, obtuse force of the water that enters through that hole and lifts everything that is placed to solidify the bridge.
Immediately after the hurricane, the bridge was rendered impassable and temporary reinstatement work was done. However, he says since then, work has been suspended.
After Melissa, most of the operators who flies below water lane to race course, they had to go via Yorktown, Mapen to come to Lioneltown. Many miles, more gas consumption, and it is challenging. So that bridge is very integral to the operators that fly that route and the people that work and live in and around Mapen and Veer.
Our news center contacted communications manager at the National Works Agency, Stephen Shaw. He says the agency will be carrying out additional work but called for patience.
We have quite a bit of damage around the country. We are now looking at approaches to dealing with areas that have been scoured out, roads that have been broken away, and the like. And Ali Bridge is just one of the locations where we will have to do additional work. So the first go around was to try and get the corridor back in service, which we have done, but there are outstanding works that will have to be done. As to when this will be, I'm not in a position to say.
Raquel Porto reporting for TVJ News.
Amid calls for urgent repair to several road networks in eastern St. Thomas, Member of Parliament Rosemary Shaw says some of those areas will be added during the next submission under the Spark program. She made the revelation following a tour of the Land Top community earlier this week. Alia Bryant reports.
For years, residents of Topland and surrounding communities have complained about the deplorable road conditions. But today, they're breathing a sigh of relief.
Very, very happy about this road. Yes, because the gate are pretty. That's right.
The repair is being carried out under the government's Spark program. Residents are hopeful the improvements to the road network will ease transportation challenges in the area.
It's very important to the people because this road within 6 months ago going a whole tag and war whether to fix Lantap or to fix Curtis Bottom by the farmer member. And we have looked to both roads. The member of parliament looked to Curtis Bottom, which totally need to be fixed. Also Lantap need to be fixed. And the good news today, we're fixing Lantap today, and within days after Lantap complete, Curtis Bottom as well will be fixed.
Following a tour of the area recently, Member of Parliament for Eastern St. Thomas, Rosemary Shaw, says she's pleased with the progress of the project.
This road is very important because it interconnects the main road. If there is an accident or there's a blockage, this road leads you right back to the main road. It leads to Duck and Field, so it's interconnected. And a lot of people were very, very skeptical when I told them that I'm going to try and see what can be done. They were very skeptical. Oh, they hear this all the time. But today it is a blessed day because it comes to fruition. And I'm very, very happy.
And with calls from other communities for their roads to be repaired,
there is more to come. I have Cashebush and I also have Chapel Hill on my agenda. So when the next submission, those roads will be considered.
Aliyah Bryant, TVJ News.
The agriculture sector is set to get a major boost. Minister of Agriculture Floyd Green has supplied farmers operating in hilly areas with a dozen pieces of equipment and machines. The move aims to tackle long-standing labor shortages and boost mechanization within the sector. Once more, here's Aliyah Bryant.
Speaking Wednesday at the handover ceremony at the Amity Hall Agri Park in St. Catherine, Minister Green said that these tractors and earth augers should help fast-track agricultural output and restore jobs in key farming areas.
We're looking to recover agriculture right across Jamaica, but we know there are some farmers that are ready to go now, that have been hit but have not been hit as hard as some of the farmers in the West. And so we're providing these pieces of equipment so that they can get out there.
He noted that the equipment provided through a partnership with the Agro-Invest Corporation, Delta Supply Company Limited, and the Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA will be distributed to parishes with arable but challenging terrain to help mechanize farmers' operations. These include the hilly areas of St. Anne, Clarendon, Manchester, Trelawney, St. Catherine, and St. Elizabeth. Minister Green stated that the earth augers will be especially useful to yam farmers who need to dig holes for yam stakes. Yam was one of the hardest hit crops during Melissa, with over $4.5 billion in losses. He noted that most of the crop in North Manchester and South Trelawney was destroyed, with recovery expected to take 6 to 18 months.
The supply of these walk-behind tractors will greatly assist in reducing the high cost and greatly assist in ensuring that where farmers do not have the labor that they're seeking, these solutions that make it easy for one individual to operate on huge parcels of land are critical.
In the meantime, CEO of the Agro-Invest Corporation, Vivian Scully, says his team is working swiftly to help protect the livelihoods of farmers.
They serve as a tangible evidence that the government and its agencies are doing as much as possible, alongside with the private sector companies, to stay united and steadfast in support of the recovery effort.
Aliyah Bryant, TVJ News.
In the meantime, speaking at a ceremony in rural St. Catherine, acting CEO of RADA, Garnet Edmondson, says the authority will continue to provide targeted support to farmers.
We have wide-scale damages both from crops and livestock. Also, in terms of farm roads, from major to minor impacts on our farm roads. So I would want to say that it's a widespread damage right across St. Catherine, in particularly farm roads.
Mr. Edmondson says the authority also provided farmers with various seeds and resources to help boost production in their area.
The fertilizers, right? We brought out 100 bags of Irish potato seeds and also assorted vegetables. So we're talking about sweet pepper, cabbage, cantaloupe, you name it. Also, Bodles stepped up and provided some pumpkin seed, sorrel, and watermelon, you name it, a few more seeds. We have procured more seeds to come. We're also coming back in the area because we have procured baby chicks, and those will be distributed as soon as they arrive in the hands of the officers.
Acting parish manager for the St. Catherine 4-H Club's Michelle Mantle says the entity suffered significant damage from Hurricane Melissa. She says about 45% of the roof has been destroyed, leaving parts of the building exposed and operations disrupted. The organization has also reported loss of livestock, further impacting their programs and training activities.
They did not lay because they had the litter was wet. They had no water, no feed for the rain. So it's about 2 days or so. So we did lose some.
In addition, the area also used for rental services has been put on hold as damage assessments and repairs continue.
Even before the hurricane, the offices are always occupied. Once in a while, we would rent the facility. But because of the state of which it is in now, we cannot do any rentals. And that is another income for us. They're seeking help. We're seeking some assistance. I know that there are some materials were supposed to come here today. I don't see them as yet, but I hear that they'll be coming. So we'll be doing some repairs in a short time. And I hope that it will make the facility a little much more, involved.
Residents of Darlington and several surrounding communities in Westmoreland received much-needed household supplies earlier this week. The effort comes as many families continue to struggle with losses suffered during Hurricane Melissa.
Scores of residents gathered in Darlington Square, Westmoreland Thursday, buzzing with excitement as they received something on which to lay their heads. The much-needed mattresses and care packages are a part of a relief initiative led by Member of Parliament for East and Westmoreland Dr. Dayton Campbell and legendary Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt.
This has done a lot to alleviate some of the stress and the suffering that is going on in the constituency. As you can see, they're still distributing some of the care packages, and earlier we're distributing the mattresses. And they stopped in White House before to let off some there and also stop further down in Darlington.
Got a call, so we try to figure out which community need it the most and which community is not getting reached. So Mr. Carlos, we came together and just come up here to give out a few stuff.
Dr. Campbell says the partnership aims to bring immediate relief while the constituency worked through long-term recovery challenges. The MP added that teams are currently conducting assessments to identify households still waiting for help, particularly those in remote sections of the constituency.
I have put something in place. We have a storage area in White House that you can pack from and then move to the inner areas, and I also have one in Darlington. But that has been the complaint, and it has been my complaint too, that when the assistance is coming, it's coming to the populated areas, but those more remote areas, the elderly, the shut-in, the disabled, those persons have not been reached. And so that's what we're trying to do now, is to coordinate the effort so we can get it to them.
Antonia Atkinson, TVJ News.
The Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport is reporting that the I Love Jamaica Telethon held on Sunday raised $65 million. In a statement on Thursday, Minister Olivia Grange explained that more than $45 million was received through the Support Jamaica account, while adding that approximately $20 million has been pledged and will be received soon. The minister expressed appreciation to all who supported the fundraising telethon, which will go towards the National Hurricane Melissa Relief Program. And it's time for a break. Stay with us, more stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. It's now time for the Business Minute.
Data released by the Jamaica Public Service indicate that its debt load increased, while its profits decreased during the third quarter, which ended on September 30 of this year. This is particularly relevant given the government's decision to lend the company $150 million of the $350 million it needs to borrow in order to fully rehabilitate the grid. The company was carrying a long-term loan of $273.4 million on its books during the third quarter of this year, compared with $233.9 million during the same period of the previous year. At the same time, customer deposits jumped to $32.3 million from $21.4 million. Further afield, today is Black Friday, and it could be slower than last year. The National Retail Federation forecasts nearly 187 million people will shop online or in stores between Thanksgiving and Cyber Monday. That's fewer than the near record number it reported in 2024. Some shoppers face lower disposable income due to higher food and energy costs. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Prince Moore.
Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, the new Democratic Party NDP in St. Vincent and the Grenadines secured a landslide victory ending 25 years in opposition. Preliminary results show the NDP, led by Dr. Godwin Friday, securing 14 of 15 seats, stopping Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves from serving a sixth term. Gonsalves held his seat, but his son, Finance Minister Camilo Gonsalves, lost to the NDP's Laverine Gibson Velox. Regional leaders have since sent congratulations, praising the peaceful democratic process. And on the international scene, the massive fire at a Hong Kong apartment complex has now been fully extinguished. At least 128 people were killed and hundreds remain missing after the blaze that started on Wednesday afternoon. Fire officials say the inferno was brought under control at 10:18 Friday morning local time. More than 2,300 firefighters and first responders were deployed in the operation. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aaliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Alia. We now head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.